Hey, welcome back to the First Alert Desk. I'm Maria Moreau. I always have something pretty crazy to talk to you guys about, and the latest on what we're talking about today is a new social media trend. It's called Infla-dating. That's right, you heard me. It's inflation, or dating during inflation. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. So joining us today is dating expert with Plenty of Fish, Kate MacLean. Thank you so much for joining us today, Kate.
So much for having me today.
So let's talk about this. What is infla-dating? Because I had never heard of this up until we talked together about it.
Absolutely. So every year, Plenty of Fish releases a set of new dating trends to look out for in the year ahead. So we polled 8,000 members on Plenty of Fish to kind of pulse check and see what's coming up. And infla-dating turned out to be one of our top trends this year. Inflation is definitely impacting all aspects of our lives, including dating. So what is infla-dating? It's essentially going on less expensive, cheaper dates. And we're finding that almost half of Gen Z and millennials are suggesting more inexpensive dates for the holidays.
And I don't blame them. Between the
Yeah.
gas prices, grocery bills, now dating, it's a lot to cover, especially around the holiday season. So I heard that you had some budget-friendly dating ideas for us, or for those of our younger folk who might be pursuing this new concept of infla-dating.
Yeah, absolutely. What's great about the holidays is there's so much going on and you can get really creative with your date ideas. So, one that I like to always suggest is perhaps you share a passion with your date around charity. So, volunteering is a really great way to get to know each other over a shared interest. And also, it's really rewarding to support your community through your charity effort and volunteer work. So, that's number one. Number two, more fun can be gingerbread house making competition. This is one that I always suggest doing with like a group date. It's really a great interaction and activity to do with more than just maybe one to one with your own date, but invite more people and have them meet your friends. So that's always a fun one. If you do live in a snowy region, I highly recommend tobogganing. It's a super fun activity. It's fun to get outside and do a tobogganing competition down the hill, or you can build a snowman as well. That's always a good time. So yeah, there's so much creativity you can get into with inexpensive date nights. Also, if you really want to scale back on maybe going for an intimate dinner, you can actually just go for dessert or go for an appetizer instead of doing the full meal.
You know, I've never thought of that, but it's totally legal to do so. Like, you can actually go
Absolutely.
somewhere and just get dessert. What a great idea, and always something that I'm sure most of us can enjoy. I meant to also say the gingerbread building is a childhood favorite thing to do for me, and it is pretty affordable if you get a group of friends and just build a gingerbread house together, and makes for a perfect activity and a bonding exercise if you try to build one, a big one as a collective.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's easy to break the ice that way, and you'll probably end up laughing at what, creations you make. And humor is awesome for breaking the ice. So definitely, I highly recommend that one.
And this all stemmed from a survey that Plenty of Fish conducted, and I was hoping you could share that with us, because we know inflation is at an all-time high, and young folks especially are looking for creative ways to get out there and do stuff, but also not break the bank. So part of this survey dug into that. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we did a holiday survey around gifting, and we actually found that 69% of singles are going to be spending less around the holiday season. But what's really great is 40% of singles really just want quality time as opposed to material gifts and an actual physical item. So it's really great to maybe come up with a homemade gift. Maybe it's baking cookies, or maybe it's knitting a scarf or a toque for somebody. So I know this time of year can be high pressure, but these are just really great low pressure ways and ways to save money during the holidays, because I know it is a very, very big time of year and you're spending lots of time with family and friends. But yeah, it looks like people are really wanting that quality time, especially after the pandemic.
Absolutely. I was hoping you could share some final thoughts with us, some words of encouragement for those of us. I know the holidays are a time for family, friends, and loved ones, but for a lot of us who are single out there, it's also can be an awkward time to try to find people to spend the holidays with. So any final thoughts? I know Plenty of Fish is bringing people together this holiday season.
That's right. Yeah. So we actually just released a new game on Plenty of Fish called Queued Up, which is a pre-matching game. So if you are a little shyer, this is a great in-app spicy fill in the card game that you can play on Plenty of Fish. So that's a great way to meet people in a very low pressure setting. So I highly recommend you test that out.
And we're going to have a full link to that, as well as this full interview and more tips for your Infla-dating adventures this holiday season, right on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com. Kate, I always appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.